Did you miss me? Yeah, man, I missed you too. I hate my internet. But don't worry. I'm back. I'm back to lead you through this dark and twisted world, right? I'm helping you, guide you, right? I'm here. I'm back. Don't worry. Uncle Tim is here. And Aunt Jennifer.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers. Gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
True Slinger coming at you one more stinking time. That's right. 118 times strong. Got my leg pumping underneath the table. I don't know if you can tell. Ben Shapiro pumps. He's a pumper. Yeah, he just pumps. I do too sometimes. Yeah, it's a thing I do. But you know what? It's just me, right? And I am cool with being me these days, right? So I don't like glasses. People wear glasses on podcasts. I think it's kind of obnoxious. So I won't do it. I just thought I'd be fun. So yeah, internet problems galore, man. But yeah, we're here. So I'm uploading the episode from the other day. And we've been off for a couple of days. And no, it's not a strike. YouTube did not spank me. I've been very careful. As a matter of fact, if you watch my episode 117, I went to great lengths to make sure that I would not get thrown off of YouTube or get a strike for showing any sort of nudity. If that's really what you want to call what we saw with the Michelin woman there, I don't know, man. I think at some point you become so obese it doesn't matter how many clothes you take off. Your brain can't process that, and you just go, that can't be naked. That's not real. That's not real. So yeah, right. Well, what the hell is going on, man? Well, personally speaking, like I said, we're pulling our hair out over here with internet problems, but the jobs are rolling in and they're of high quality. And I'm all excited about that. And then my wife is talking to me about all the debt that I have now. Yeah, for all for all the equipment that I have to bring you all this stuff, and actually gave me some numbers today. And I hate numbers. I mean, I hate numbers when they have dollar signs in front of them. I mean, I have a degree in mathematics, right? But man, you put dollar signs in front of them, and I just go, I glaze over. I don't like it. So anyway, yeah, but it's fine, right? We're just pursuing the American dream, back in it again. Yeah, I got a debt, and now I got to service the debt, but it's serviceable and it's fine, and my clothes are cleaner, and I don't have hair everywhere, and my life is better. And so, man, making incredible leaps and bounds in the life here recently. Training's going well, diet going well, overall. Yeah, happy with everything. Mom is still having some sugar cravings, right? Yeah, and I did go out to. Yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, but overall, yeah, things are good. We're being strong and doing the right things, and that's what matters the most. Not what you feel is what you do, right? That's what's most important. But so, what the hell do I want to talk to you about today? Well, God, man, there's a lot going on. Jack Smith. I don't want to talk too much about Jack, the evil Jack Smith. I really don't want to talk too much about him until I get an eye patch on that son of a bitch. Have you ever seen this guy? Holy crap. I don't even know if I don't think I have a picture of him anywhere. Some other time. This guy needs an eye patch. He looks like a fucking Bond villain. Okay, he does, man. He looks just evil. He's evil. Not necessarily the Bond villain. Maybe the Bond villain, but at least definitely the number one henchman. The guy with the silver teeth or some shit like that. This guy. Evil, right? Evil guy. So, yeah. Yeah, still pursuing Trump. Yeah, so we're still in shithole America, still day 109 as we see. And the EPA, right? The big news today, right? Yeah. The EPA, let's just jump right in, right? Here we go. Oh, come on now. Hang on one second. Let's do news of the evening. Figure this stuff out. No, not that. That's what we want. There we go. All right, yeah. They lied. The EPA lied. Oh, no, say it isn't so. Yes, boys and girls, it is. And they're even reporting on Chris Cuomo's show here. Yeah, 27,000% more dioxins in the soil. Yeah, than like the town next door. But that's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part is that I'm not sure if it's in here, but they put this next to the EPA. Yeah, check this out. The EPA test results. They found 124 parts per trillion regarding the soil testing of dioxins, cancer-causing dioxins in East Palestine. And in the recent testing by this guy, Smith testing, 600,000 parts per trillion. Now, they're using the same tests, right? And they suspect that the EPA was digging down 6 inches in the soil rather than taking the samples right off the surface where they're supposed to be taken. Something's going on, right? Some freaking monkey business. Some shit is going on, and somebody's lying about something. And you can see I made these memes way back when, man. Oh, yeah. When I first started, this before my channel took off, I was like into meme land. And I was burning up Twitter and Truth Social, and I was in all the hottest groups, man, memeing away. So that's why I get all these memes, man, at all this preparation I did. But yeah, East Palestine is glowing, man. And last episode, I talked about gaslighting. And like I said, I just uploaded that this morning. And hopefully, if my internet holds out, we should be getting this uploaded. That's why I'm making another show today. I'm like, man, while the internet is good, While the getting is good, I'm uploading. I'm getting. I'll probably make an episode this evening if I've got, just to get some content up, even if I don't publish it right away, because this internet stuff is crazy. I mean, I've got to reboot my stupid modem or whatever like 6, 8, 10 times to get anything. At one point yesterday, I had my show uploaded. I was uploading for 8.5 hours straight, and it got stuck at 75%. Just got stuck. Just stopped going. No matter what I did, I had to give up. So, but I disconnected from it emotionally because I also realized that I'm against spiritual forces are coming against me, and so I've just got to take delays in stride, and I move on to doing something else, and I'm fighting that spiritual battle, and I'm shoring up those places that I know that the opposition uses to, they're chinks in my armor, right? So I'm shoring them up, and I don't get mad about this stuff anymore. Getting mad about other things now. So yeah, well, okay, right. I talked about this last show about gaslighting, and I also did the previous show to that, keeping your sanity in a police state, right? And so you're probably, well, I mean, I have been, I guess you could say I've been on a theme, I guess, a little bit. And I've been reading some books, and one of the books that I've been reading, I just wrapped up, was called something, Bright Psychology. And actually, the whole book was really not about bright psychology. The word bright psychology only came up in the conclusion of the book. The whole book was about dark psychology. And one of the things that I stumbled upon, and it's been a while, it's been a long time since I've been to seminary, and I took an ethics course, a Christian ethics course. But of course, in the Christian ethics course, the ethics weren't just about Christian ethics, they were about ethics in general. But, it had been a long time since I've thought about some of this stuff. And so as a result, it hit me when I came across this information, and it kind of smacked me right in the face and said, oh, now I understand where all the cognitive dissonance is coming from. You have forgotten that there are different ethical systems in this world, and that other people use different ethical systems than you do, right? Now, let me talk with you up close real quick. When you talk with anyone about the Bible, right? I've learned in evangelism, street evangelism, digital evangelism, any kind of evangelism, or apologetics, or polemics for that matter, but apologetics more than anything. You need to understand when you're arguing with someone about the Bible, all right, you've got to establish first right off, what is it they believe about that book, that codex, those set of scrolls? What is it they believe about it? Because that makes a huge difference, right, as to how you're going to be. It's that book or that codex is going to define very much. I mean, if they say, yes, I believe it is the inerrant word of God breathed out through men from cover to cover, and it is all the message from Jesus Christ, that's one thing. If they say, well, it's a bunch of moral books written by a bunch of men put together, and somebody decided that, that's another belief, okay? If you believe it was just a collection of like Aesop's fables, right? And they're not even, is the book historical? Is it not historical, right? You understand where I'm going with this, right? There's it really makes a difference, right, as to where the conversation is going to go. You have to establish some basic facts first. So how does this relate to ethical concerns, right? Well, you wonder how it is that people could consider depopulating the entire planet, or taking away your gas stoves, or pizza ovens in New York City, or your gas cars, or how we could just give away our country and leave the borders wide open, right? And just allow people to pour right in, right? How is that like okay with people? how do they sleep okay at night, right? I mean, don't you ask yourself these things? I mean, all the things that we're looking at, how is it that you can possibly say that? I mean, these you have to come to the conclusion these people are either deliberately evil, they know exactly what the fuck they're doing, and they're sadistic, okay? They don't care, right? Or or they're not. They really think they're coming from some sort of moral position of high ground. And I think essentially that's what elites do. Now, they are psychopaths and sociopaths, and they don't have the same kind of emotions we do. And maybe that's the way they can hold some of these different ethical systems. So now, Tim, what ethical systems are we talking about? Well, what I came upon, right, uh, was that I think that what we're dealing with here most of the time is an ethical system called utilitarianism or pragmatism. Okay. Now, there's a number of different systems, and let me just, go over. There's a whole list here. Let me see. Does this work? Yeah, look. You've got utilitarianism, deontology, virtue ethics, the ethics of care, egoism, religion, divine command theory, natural laws, social contract theory, Rawls justice, theory of justice, and moral relativism, right? And that's like what, I don't know, a dozen or so. Now, they all there's overlap and they all have things in common. And I don't know and I'm not familiar with every single one of these. I do most of them I'm familiar with at least to some extent. But I really want to read this. This happens to be an online book. It's Sailor.org Academy. You might want to check this out yourself. Just a plug for them. But anyway, these are the basic things. But if you look at it, they're broken down in three basic groups, right? And the way I kind of stumbled across them in this book on dark psychology I was reading is virtuous conduct, ethics of virtuous conduct, ethics based on deontology, and Immanuel Kant, right? And then the ethics of consequences. And I think we've got the same sort of thing going on here. We've got the teleology. I'm sorry, let me move this over. Right, teleology. Oops. I want one of those. Those things are so cool. I want one of these forever spins. These are so cool. Remember the guy had one in the movie? God, never mind. I'll never remember it now, and I'm going to get stuck on it. Okay. So teleology and ethics, consequences of your choices, right? Then there are virtue ethics, right? And then there's the third kind, deontology and ethics. So let's look at the three kinds, right? Deontological ethics are characterized primarily by a focus and adherence to independent moral rules or duties, right? In order to make correct moral choices, you simply have to understand what your moral duties are and what correct rules exist, what regulate those duties, right? And let me see what I've got over here. Yeah. Yeah, these are the ones that are like, they come from religious systems generally, right? So it's predominantly rules based, right? So if you follow your duty, you're behaving morally, and if you fail to follow your duty, you're behaving immorally, right? Yeah, many religions. Yeah, this is a religious thing. So then we've got teleology. I don't know why I have trouble with that word. Teleology and ethics, right? The consequences of choices, and then virtue ethics. Now, virtue ethics, I want to talk about that second. Virtue-based ethical theories, they place less emphasis on the rules people follow, but instead focus on helping people to develop good character traits, right? Such as kindness, generosity, this kind of stuff. I imagine social workers are filled with this kind of stuff, right? Filling people with these character traits will in turn allow a person to make the correct decisions later in life, right? And then if you get a bunch of people all doing the right things, making good decisions, then I guess sociologically speaking, society will do well, right? Um, they're concerned with breaking bad habits of character, greed, anger, vices, and they're about developing virtue, right? So yeah, that's the second system. God, I love it when the spin cycle kicks in and my house becomes filled with a delightful burst of gain, freshening scent. I mean, it's like I know I sound like a commercial, and Gain doesn't pay me, although they should. But God, man, it's just like I got a small cabin. It goes into spin cycle, and I figured out a hack. I got a tube in the center, and so I took the cap from the softener and put it in the middle, and that thing spins around in the agitator. And so if you pour the stuff in the middle when it spins, the centrifugal force slings slings out the softener into the rinse cycle. It's perfect. Works perfect. And so what didn't work before now works. I put in a design feature that didn't even exist in there. So yeah, I'm cool. But anyway, uh so yeah, that's the second system. But here's the one that allows people to be psychopaths and rule the world and destroy other people's lives and be totally okay with it and go to sleep at night and sleep like a fucking baby. Okay? That's the one that drive you and me, right? The ones that have these other systems. Because I mean, if you think about it, right? Christianity uh, is rules based, but it also is an ethical system. Wouldn't you agree with me? It's both it's both uh, it's both developing good character, right? I mean, we're supposed to follow Christ, and Christ was of good character, and so it is all about that. And I don't want to get too deep into the weeds with Christianity right now because I'm talking about ethics. But here's the one that I came to that helps us understand why other people seem completely crazy to you and I. Because if they're smart enough to have thought about this long enough and their consciences aren't seared to a crisp, okay, which is possible. I think that some people just sear their consciences to an absolute crisp, right? Burn them up. And but I think that the way most people do this is they focus on an ethical system that is based on consequences and wind up with something called utilitarianism, right? Now, utilitarianism, let me bring this over here for a minute so I can read it to you, is according to John Stuart Mill's book, utilitarianism is an action that is morally acceptable if and only if it results in the greatest possible good for the greatest number of people. Now there's if you look into this book that I'm looking at over here, there's a question of whether or not this is actually the greatest amount of happiness for the greatest amount of people or the greatest amount of good, because theoretically good makes people happy, right? When good things happen to people, they're happy. And then you got an issue of, well, measuring this, the metrics of it. Like, how do you measure this ethical system? Because how do you measure happiness of people, right? But anyway, let me go on. Consequently, what constitutes ethical behavior is not what is right, okay, like Aristotle or the obligatory Kant, right? What not is actually correct by the rules. Rather, the results of one's actions. Under this interpretation, manipulative leadership techniques could be morally justifiable if they serve the greater good, right? See, if the result of your manipulation of your followers benefits more people than it harms, then Mill would argue, or the utilitarian, right, would argue that their actions are justifiable and even ethical. Manipulation is acceptable in this context, right? So what am I saying here, right? What I'm saying is that there are groups of people out there such as Bill Gates, for example, really believes that he's doing good for humanity if he kills 30% of the population, because the resulting planet will be so much better for the 70% that are left behind, that the greater good would cause them to be ethically in the right to do something to decrease the population by 30%. I shit you not, right? And you see this stuff like echoed in the movies, the Star Trek movies, right? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one or the few, right? So, right, the needs of the many. Well, shit. Wow. You could get into some serious ethical twisting here. and you can sleep like a baby, right? You can do things like, I don't know, infest mosquitoes with genetic engineered crap to do weird shit to people. You could do human experimentation. Why in the world wouldn't you want to use babies' parts and stem cells and shit from babies? Hell, in the right circumstance, why wouldn't you want to torture children to extract adrenochrome from them so that the wise rulers of the world could live longer and guide us plebes better? Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? I mean, you know, I got to be careful when I use the word pragmatism, because to a certain degree, I'm a pragmatic individual. But I'm pragmatic within the framework of Christianity. I'm pragmatic within the framework of a set of ethical rules, you know, a Kantian system, right? These people are not. These people think they're smarter than you and I. They think they're brilliant. They think they're geniuses. They're so much smarter than you and I. We're like cattle. That's all we are. We're here to, I don't know, be ruled over. That's all there is to it. So, yeah, right, okay. I think I've educated you enough. I think I've given you a primer on ethical systems. And I'm not so brilliant, right? Like I said, I was really starting to bother me the other day. I was like, okay, what, you know, and it just simply a large chunk of my memory was gone. I mean, I guess it happens when you get older. You got to keep shoveling it in because, you know, it's leaky and it just leaks out. And yeah, I came across this utilitarianism. Yeah. Most of these sons of bitches in government are utilitarians, in this sense of Stuart Mill's utilitarians, okay? And this is how they get away with, this is how the Peter Strzok's of the world, the people that are running Plan B, the people that are currently right now persecuting Donald J. Trump with every single trumped up bullshit charge, no pun intended, okay? Trying to throw a man like 700 years potential jail time at a former president of the United States that arguably did more for this country than any other president, modern president, right? And they're trying to throw him in jail. Why? Because they believe they literally are the guardians of the fucking democracy, right? They really believe he's evil because more people will be happier under their plan and their scheme, right? But what we all know is what the populism, right? It's not what we want, right? The elites want something completely different than what we want. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to educate you on that. There's some weird shit going on locally here in Maine. I'm sorry I didn't have a Maine corner. Maybe I'll do a show later on this evening with some news. I just wanted to talk to you about these ethical systems because I think it was important. Because I'm here to educate, not just entertain and not just bring you the news. But I'm here to hopefully help you obtain a more round worldview. So go out there and, educate yourself more on this stuff. Go to this sailor.org academy. There's a whole book there on ethics if you're turned on by ethics now that I explained it, I did some explaining on you. But yeah, like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. I'm not doing any post-production anymore. I got too much to do. So I'm not throwing graphics in there. Just do all that stuff down below. Spread the word. Let everybody know we're here. You know we love you. And thank God, no strikes yet. Not yet. Not yet. So keep sharing. Keep coming back. Keep doing all that stuff. Love you. I'm out.